As we jump into game number 3, it's 1-0. You work that math out because I can't. As we're going to be watching Recon playing some Uranus, and we are going to be watching Rapl play some Kronos. A pretty wild matchup here, to be honest. I've played it a fair bit from both sides, and I definitely have the feeling that Uranus has got the edge here. You've got Oceanus, which is really good. You've got Terma, which counter off those Caraballista, which means it's really, really hard to deal with those Murmillo. So going for Murmillo Terma here is really good for Uranus. And also, you can then get in your own Caraballista if you really want to just add 1 or 2. Doesn't matter if your opponent goes for mass Murmillo themselves. That being said, there are a lot of different options here for Kronos that have started to pop up. You got Rhea, really powerful. You got Promethean Spam, really, really powerful as well. You got Deconstruction to catch your opponent out with what they would assume to be a safe sky passage. So there are a lot of different options, so to speak. Let's check out some relics over here. We've got Tower of Cestus. This one's going to be boosting those myth units up. Over on this right-hand corner, we've got Oseberg Wagon, boosting the caravan movement speed. Up on this side, we've got the Blanket of Empress Zoe. Crush vulnerability, 15% reduction there. Over on this side, we've got Tail of Fae. This is a pretty funny relic. Get a Fae beast that doesn't die, but doesn't do that much damage, but can be very annoying. Anyways, we'll see what they're going to pick, because at this point, it's really just scouting shenanigans here. Taking a look at how these guys are scouting, you can see that Recon, he goes fully out onto the oracles, and then he starts moving once they're full. Rapl, on the other hand, more preferring to go for the big expand, run really far, then next big expand. He's looking into the main base here. He does spot the temple. Now, there is an angle here for clicking Deconstruction at a very specific amount of time. Greek buildings are unbuilt at 2.5 build points a second. The Manor has got 25, I believe it's 25 build points. So if you click Deconstruction on the right point, you could potentially villager block your opponent for a couple of seconds. It's not that good. Instead, we see the Deconstruction on the temple. Going to be removing any sort of Prometheus. We're seeing Prometheus from both players. That's kind of wild, in my opinion. I'm surprised to not see Oceanus here from Recon, but I guess these players are really, really valuing the Valor onto Caraballista. But nonetheless, the temple is in. The Prometheans are going to charge in here to try and get that early game damage. And we'll see how it all turns out. As off they go, off to the races, charging in to kill off some citizens here. And immediately, Recon has to pull back. He's going to pull over onto the Hippopotamus here as the tower to get bashed down. And the classical age for Recon just about to hit. A little bit behind the 8 ball here on this one, as the counter barracks is now up. But the Valors are going to start coming straight down onto those villages. Whereas Rapl, on the other hand, he isn't Valoring up any citizens. I think he's going for Caraballista, and he's going to be heroizing those, but you can't go for them super early. So he's going to be saving them for a little bit later. As the village is back over onto this side, it's going to be Terma. Oh, he does heroize a Terma hero here, so he's trying to get that value in. I guess Recon does have the extra favor advantage for the moment, so he can heroize his citizens on the front, no problem, or he can heroize these guys over here, going to turn around and start shanking. And now, the terrifying movement forward here is we do have the watchtowers in for Recon. He lost what looked like he did lose a tower as well. So this gold mine is very, very out in the open, and it's going to get heavy pressured here. Meanwhile, on the top here, we do have that Oracle checking that out. As the village is just going to keep popping in and out. And at this point, Recon can kind of just keep heroizing citizens here. Up to full HP. No problems. Take some damage. No problems here. He's waiting. And there he goes on that heroize. Getting a little bit of a kill there. Pulling back. Nice play from Recon as Rapl just trying to get the pokes in. Always very, very tricky to be punishing Recon in these positions. As Rapl just going to keep poking in. Throwing those spears. Recon has gone himself at Alt S, passive stance on the villagers. So that's how you stand here. Alt S onto your villagers, or Shift S for default, I think. And you're not going to be able to push them off there with any sort of javelin throws or anything like that. There's more Valors coming through. It is looking like this is a majority of Valors just onto the Terma here. As Recon trying to just dodge. He could just move sort of to the side. Doesn't have to... You can dodge these anyways. Both players just trying to poke. So we haven't seen any sort of catapulties coming in just yet. It's a hero citizen. You can't really heroize that one back up with the Valor. But right now, the tiny little bit of a numbers advantage for Rapl, and the fact he's got hero Terma, is making life very, very difficult here for Recon. As now, Recon has to pull back yet again. We see a Sky Passage coming up over onto this side. And then all of a sudden, he's going to be able to move back. But then you got the deconstruction angle from Rapl here. It's another building, another counter barracks to come through. Sniping down one Terma. We see a mana to come through. No Sky Passage just yet in the main base here for Recon. And he's able to start grabbing Zebra over here, actually, as we see a Sky Passage coming up. Nice micro from Recon, but he's still got to be very careful here. Sniping another Terma. And he just wants to get away from this pressure. Go from one side to the other side. At the moment, no favor in the bank for another deconstruction, but it's going to be there.
Your hair, Joes.
As the Oracle here, getting sniped is actually kind of a big deal. Do you click Valor on this to try and keep it alive? Looks like the answer is a big fat no. As the army coming in to try and kill off this watchtower, Recon could pop through the Sky Passage in and out and try and take this out if he wants to, but he still doesn't have himself that alluvial clay for the Promethean, so he's missing that. He tries to get a little bit of snipages in, but now with no watchtower over here, now Rapl can swing up here, click the deconstruction, and life's going to get very difficult for Recon. Sky Passage ends up going down, and there's no other Sky Passage anywhere else, right? He needs to build another one. He doesn't have the favor for it. There's the army to come in. More villagers moving forward here. This is very, very tense. Nice little snipe there, as this is just going to be all about the shockwave, all about the damage. Great control there from Rapl, as he's now going to say, all right, time to pull back. I think he's got the army advantage here, but he doesn't quite realize it. As now he decides to turn around. Terma going in onto the side here. You have to split into two different groups here. Both players microing incredibly well, but not really going to be doing any sort of dodge him cars with those Terma. Now we see Recon going for the shoot and scoot to pull back. There is a tiny advantage now for Rapl at the moment, but I don't think it's anything to write home about. The big problem I think for Rapl, for Recon, is that he's not playing around deconstruction at all. These citizens are just going to get caught out, but I don't think he can really go for it because there's just not enough units. As we are just seeing a Terma war. It is a Terma war. Making some catapulties makes a little bit of sense. They're very, very powerful, especially with weightless mace. But we don't have weightless mace because we've gone Prometheus. Never mind. Rapl poking back in. Deconstruction will be not available just yet. He's got just a little bit more favor he needs to grab. As Recon trying to pull his heroes back, but there's just so many Terma here for Rapl at the moment. But lots of units are falling. Over onto this side, the Citizen's getting targeted down by a couple of Prometheans. Rapl just getting a little bit of damage done. What's happening in this sky passage, though? Oh, the villager's back through. He's got to be careful. Doesn't want to lose anything. And now we see 6 oracles out for Recon. He's got them all out. Oof. His plan is maybe simple here. He wants a lot of Prometheans. And he wants to be able to use a shockwave and more Valors at the moment. Rapl is just spamming counter barracks. It's all counter barracks all the way here. He's still only on 2 oracles. He might want to consider getting some more out. Because he will fall victim to mass Prometheans here if he doesn't. Because like all the heroes in the world doesn't matter. They're going to get killed off by the enemy Terma. And then you're just going to get overrun by a huge amount of Prometheans. Another temple wouldn't go astray here for Recon either. He's going to get a lot of favor coming in very, very quickly here. That's the Terma coming back through. Recon pulling back. Citizens up. Diving into the sky passage. I didn't know about that little tech. If you actually damage the sky passage, 1 citizen, 2 citizens down there as the deconstruction comes through, but that's not that big of a deal. A mana to come up on this spot here. We can see a sky passage up to the top position here as well if Recon wants. Recon doesn't even need the gold at the moment. He just wants Prometheans. And this game is so tense. You can't push. You can't not. It's the population advantage is in the hands of the Rapl, but Recon's got. He's got the Oracle spam. But now also, we see for Rapl, he's got 4 Oracles. So he's going to be able to get his own Prometheans out. And now we've got Hyperion. Hyperion's going to be scary. Because you can chaos the turn and then they kill themselves. Nice Recon. Oh, a little bit of dodging cars here. And Rapl knows he's going heroic age, so he knows that there's some sort of an advantage right now, or timing right now for Recon, and Recon is probably feeling that there's a heroic age coming his way as well. So he's got to get there himself. But the question really is, do you go for Hyperion in this side, in this situation as Recon? I think you go for Thea. Right? Does he have an armory out? He does have his armory out. I think surely you go for Thea, right? Get the Dryads, and you should be okay here. But he's going for Hyperion. Okay, so both players are going to have that chaos. No sort of like going one way or the other. I'm still surprised we're just seeing nothing but Terma here. I am surprised. There's a couple of Terma do end up getting sniped down. Nice play from Recon as he's going to be grabbing himself immediate ballistics. The Promethean's numbers here for Recon are starting to look very, very scary. Plus, there's also a shockwave coming. Yeah, there's no point in Kyra Ballister in this situation. We were talking about Kyra Ballister beforehand, but no Kyra Ballister in this sort of a matchup. Yes, there's the heroic age in. A whole bunch of Prometheans getting targeted down. There's so many hero Terma right now for the Rapl. As the villagers going to make their way up to the top side. There is a sky passage here. He's going for a town center as well. A little bit risky. There's all the villagers onto the down. I don't know if this is going to be it. He's going to get caught out here. There is a shockwave, but there is also a chaos. As the chaos gets dropped down. And the chaos here as well going onto this position. As then we can see a shockwave as well as the units retreating back. There's heavy cavalry in immediately. Recon favoring ballistics over that heavy cavalry, but oh, sorry, not heavy cavalry, heavy archers. But nonetheless, he's charging forward into this madness here. As a shockwave onto half of the units getting clicked. And Recon gets, well, Rapl gets pushed back. A couple of villagers need to get pulled out of this one. What is he doing here? Surely you can't keep going into... We're in the heroic age. It's time for Contarius. Surely you can't just keep going Terma at this point. Terma wars forever and ever, it seems. But 2 town centers for Recon. And a scary moment moving forward in this game. As the Terma... I don't even know how to call this. I mean, there's more Terma here for Rapl, so I guess he's going to win the fight. But Rapl pulling back here for the moment. As it looks like most of the heroes have been cleaned up, which will mean the myth units for Recon should be doing well. But all the Terma falling. And we're still seeing more Terma! Are Contarius not good? Do we not build Contarius anymore? I guess he thinks that if he builds Contarius, you just have to face up against Catapulti straight away. So maybe there's no point. But even so, maybe some front line wouldn't go astray here. But this game's still motoring ahead. Recon and Rapl, same population here. 6 oracles, 5 oracles. We've got the hero oracles in for Rapl. He's already got himself that Sons of the Sun technology through Hyperion to get all those oracles heroized, and he's going to build more here. There's not going to be another shockwave for quite some time as the deconstruction to come down, but it looks like Recon says, I just got to sack some villages here to at least level the numbers, as it does look like now the numbers have gotten close to equal here. We see survival equipment as well as the Sky Passage is going to get put back up. A town center coming down for Rapl. The slightest of villager advantages at the moment. It's not going to mean a thing here. The big advantage right now that Rapl has got is he's got 800 food in the bank. But what's he going to do with that? So right now, 72 villagers versus 70. Both players have got 2 town centers. It's close to equal here because, it's a two citizen difference. As we're still seeing Terma. And a villager snipe. Recon is getting unleashed here. Coming onto this side as well as the villagers are coming over here. We see some military barracks, an attempt at moving away from the mass Terma at 17 minutes and 55 seconds into this game. Recon not paying attention. He misses his opportunity to get a significant amount of damage in, but he will get 1 villager kill, maybe 2 here as well. In fact, he does get 2 kills. Very, very nice raid there. This is where Recon is at his best, when he's in the driver's seat, when he's raiding. Villagers down the bottom are also out in the open, and Recon almost knows this. He knows at 100% the Oracle is here. The citizens retreating away. The army out of position. Recon is watching them run. He's going to get at least 1, if not 2 or more citizen kills here. There's 1. Just ignoring these Terma. Maybe just turn around and kill those. There's 2. There's 3. Rapl still doesn't have himself ballistics here. That's now the Terma army for Rapl coming in. Recon has to make some sort of a dart away from this. This is really dangerous running through the opponent's base here. But that's what he's going for. And there we go. This is why it's dangerous. And there could be ghost buildings coming through from time shift and things like that. But onto this side, Recon's still going for it. He says, raids over here. Why not? We hit you on the left side. We hit you on the right side. We hit you in the main base. Recon is in full panic mode right now as he doesn't have any sort of protection for his units as a chaos forced out. And Recon here will simply just say, great, thank you very much. I'm going to retreat back. No problems here. 36 favor in the bank and counting. As he spots a cheeky little Oracle over here, making a couple of catapulties as well. As the citizens for Rapl looking like they're actually coming up here to sneak this gold mine. There's Terma coming through as well. And we will be now starting to see, finally, the first Contarius. The first Contarius. Let's go. Terma over here will be spotting a couple of citizens to take out. Rapl is just getting hit literally everywhere here. The multitasking from Recon. Absolutely insane. Recon barely missing this as well with those villagers over here. Is he... Wait. Does he have the sixth sense? He's sick. If he spots this, he's sick. He's absolutely sick. No, he's not going there. Okay, Terma returning back, and we see Helios. Okay, why Helios here? Helios is probably the least popular god, major god in the game. Probably. But why is he so good in this specific matchup? Well, all of a sudden, with a bug fix, now we can vortex away from implode. So now implode is not useful. I think Baldur is more popular than Helios. I could be wrong. If Gerbot's in the chat, let me know how wrong I am. As he does spot the villagers over here. There's some Terma coming through as Recon does notice that. We get a little bit of damage in. As the ballistics is coming in clutch right now for Recon as he's picking up a bunch of those Terma there. Meanwhile, the Contarius army, however, that's scary. The army out of position. If Rapl can spot this, it's going to be huge. There is a shockwave and a chaos, so it might not be that big of a deal, but at least he could get that out. Baldur is more popular than Helios. Boom. Stats. You come here for the commentary, you stay for the Gerbot. Nice, a citizen getting cleaned up over here, retreating back up onto this position. There is deconstruction available for this position. As the Contarius now coming through for Recon as well. He could chaos that back line. It's probably going to be fine. But he doesn't want to. Meanwhile, Terma coming in onto this spot. The villagers onto the main gold mine. Taking a little bit of damage. There's still no ballistics for Rapl. I can't believe he hasn't grabbed that tech. It's like... I mean, everyone talks about it. It's arguably the best technology in the game. It's definitely the best technology in the game for archers. I think I'd rather have ballistics on my Toxotes than medium archers. But yeah, now the vortex is in, and this will effectively mean Rapl just has to hold on to implode for the rest of this game. There's going to be no Mythic Age God powers here, right? At least that's what Recon has to be planning for. If he clicks Vortex now, it takes a minute to come back. Or 120 seconds, excuse me, to come back. There's more citizen kills coming through. And Recon is just building upon this advantage in such a big way. Sniping so many villagers. They're just all around here, all just naked to some degree. As the Contarius charging through. Recon says, I don't want to hang out. Let me pull away. Get me that town center up. He clicked Vortex. He clicked Vortex.
Bougie.
Well, Recon's army is not going to be very happy here, but splitting up the army is good. Splitting up the army is good, killing off this palace. Maybe he's just going to have to take the implode, call it a day. But the Contarius chasing in. Their hero Contarius. Recon's going to be wanting to pull his army over here to defend this, but this is what Rapl wants. Rapl pulling in with the rest of his army. This is going to be gigantic as the implode gets dropped down onto these units. The Terma pulling away. There's no way to use chaos on this. Whole bunch of... all the Terma getting pulled in. He gets everything. Literally no, there's a handful of units that escape. A couple of units going to be surviving for the time being, but I mean, does it matter? The damage is done. Rapl is now back in this game. All of those units now, Recon has to rebuild. He's going to be able to rebuild them. It's not a problem. But all of this eco advantage, which Recon has been building on and building on and building on, just down the toilet because of impatience. There's a Terma coming up over here to start hitting this. And we will see a complete change to the army as we've got Contarius Catapeltes on the way. The villagers over here, good reaction from Rapl. Going to pull in to the palace here. Over onto this side, Contarius searching for villager. We see an oracle there. He could kill that. And the other thing here is I don't really know who wins this late game, right? Helios has not a huge amount going for it per se, but he does have Vortex. There's not really a text there. The Heka Gigantes aren't that great. And there is this tech, which is nice. In Hail of the Sun for the siege. There's a Contarius sitting over here. Atlas, on the other hand, does have the Super Fanatics and the Super Destroyers, which is a big deal. And with Recon going through his God path, he doesn't really have an answer for Destroyers, a good answer for Destroyers. You want to build like Mermillo, right? These units to come over here, looking to clean up this palace, getting pushed back over here as well. As the army to come in and start cleaning up a town center. Nice little decision making here from Rapl. There will be a Vortex, so if he can clean up this palace, claim it for himself, Vortex over here, who's going to be able to defend himself. He does have the Chaos as well, if need be. As the villagers are just going to pull back. And Recon doesn't even bother to do it. He says, I don't want to fight this. He's sacking a town center at the moment. I mean, he has to get gold. As the villagers over here now, no resource. Well, he does have the resources in a way. Another palace to go down over here. As the villagers pushed off of that gold mine yet again. Villagers over here getting pushed back. Wait, was there hand axe? Wait, hang on. There's no hand axe over. That's wild. Still no hand axe. Who needs eco upgrades? Eco upgrades is so important, and these players, I don't understand. I think that it might just be like jitters or something. I don't know. Military barracks to get taken out. As Recon trying to hold. One tech here that I think is super useful is this Heart of the Titans, especially in this late game. You don't want to be waiting for your heroes in the slightest. Catapeltis over here are huge to get onto those Contarius, but Recon more focused to try and catch these citizens out and prevent that gold mine from getting grabbed. As the Catapeltis wandering over here, there's a couple of them to start bashing away. That's great control from Recon to pull away from those Contarius, allowing those Catapeltis in over onto this side. Rapl's army getting cleaned up yet again as... I mean, the question is can this town center get grabbed by the Rapl? Does he have the resources? He does. But Recon's going for it. 10 citizens on the way. There's a Fire Siphon getting shanked down. 25 seconds to get his town center back. It's 210 versus 215 population. Palace gets denied. This gold mine is almost gone. The army's still fighting onto this position. A couple of hero units getting converted on the backside here. And we do see a Chaos, but the Chaos also coming in. There is a Shockwave as well available to get dropped down, which will buy him the time he needs, but I don't think he needs it. As Rapl has to retreat back. As this is just going to all be about gold at the moment. Like, Recon pushing off this gold mine, pushing off this gold mine. There's this one over here. There's this one here as well. No trade route started, but there's double markets up the top here. Recon's ready for it, and he's going for the safe trade route to boot. As the army coming down to clean up this position. Rapl's got himself boiling oil, but that's not going to be enough to hold himself there at all. As the villagers coming up to drop a palace over here. A palace for 1,476 gold. You hate to see it. Moving into this corner to try and stay away from these units. But with Catapult, I think he wins this fight. He doesn't have champion infantry just yet. I'd love to see him grab that. Yeah, and he decides to Vortex into the main base. And now he can go after this town center if he wants. The army isn't that far from this. There's a big attack right now from Recon. It could go all downhill very quickly if Rapl can get over here in time. The villagers repairing up the town center very, very quickly. Those Contarius need to get over here and snipe them as Rapl does pull them back into the town center. 700 HP remaining. The Contarius to come through here. Those catapulties are going to be gigantic. The town center falls. And Recon says, all right, let's take the win, pull out. I don't want to stay underneath the towers any longer than I need to. The fact of the matter is he's got catapulties. These things are absolutely stonking. As now the next port of call, it looks like, for Recon is to push back onto this gold mine over here. As you see another palace. Still no trade. Spots a couple of citizens here. Going to pick those off. Every little bit of damage matters here as the catapulties take this fight. I'm still waiting. All of the resources in the world for Recon, it seems, but he doesn't want to get himself champion infantry. What's wrong with champion infantry? Is there any crenellations? It doesn't look like there is. There is crenellations for Recon, but not for Rapl. And same too for Rapl. Rapl doesn't have the food though. So I understand why Rapl doesn't have champion. I don't understand why Recon doesn't have champion. Please someone explain. What are the armory upgrades looking like? Okay. He also doesn't have hand axe or shaft mine or flood control. But 3,000 food in the bank. Is this bugged? Are we watching the best Age of Mythology players in the world right now? I think so. As the Contarius is coming through, there will be a vortex here to bring himself back. Those citizens getting cleaned up is going to be a nice little win here. As the shockwave needs to get clicked down. Taking a bit of a fight. As the army to come in. A little cheeky palace to claim a gold mine. Okay. Champion infantry now pre-queued for the Rapl. As Recon's base is now under a lot of attack. He has to retreat back. Recon not reacting to this. He finally retreats. A couple of units back in over here as Recon trying to just send his guys all over the map looking for that gold staff. He's so close to it, but Rapl's at full population anyway, so he still has to kill the army off. As the Contarius managing to hit some villages here, a couple of guys to come back. We do see some Murmillos into the mix. I move into mass Murmillo here. Actually makes sense, but it makes sense for Recon. It doesn't really make sense for the Rapl. The reason it makes sense for Recon is because you've got Imperium speed in the temple, which we still haven't seen from Recon, by the way. This boosts those catapulties speed up. There's so much stuff here that's just missing. I'm so confused. Meanwhile, over onto this side, the Contarius getting cleaned up. Oracle heroes going down. And Recon is going for the move yet again as he's back into the main base. But now there's a palace here. We do see a chaos. I think Recon is just going to say, no worries, we're out of here. Let's just run away. And now we do have champion. We've got bronze. We've got the trade route started. Recon's brain now switched on. He has to deal with Murmillo though now. Would you ever build Cairo Baluster at this point? Ever? Or we go into Arcus? Or we just keep going for Catapulties? Contarius? Or we do or Murmillos? Towers to come up now for Recon to try and defend this position. There is a Chaos available, but no favor for it just yet. That's Recon looking to take this fight, but Rapl just pulls back. Over onto this side, the villager's sneaking a bit of gold over here. He's also got his own trade route, his own market at the top corner. Units over onto this side as well. Oh, good. If those villagers stay alive under that spit, all of them will die. Damage is absolutely huge. There's a sky passage there going down. It's going to be nice. I don't think there's anything close to a sky passage for Recon as he does manage to get all these villagers to save. I would have left a villager over here to put a sky passage back up, but It's hard to do all these things well. Lots of towers. We've got the guard towers up now. As Rapl continuing on this craziness to take the town center down. Another tower up. Catapulti's over here to try and hold this position. There is a chaos for the time being. Not a bad chaos at the moment. Just to at least hold the ground. And underneath all these towers in the town center, it's going to be too strong. The thing is, Rapl, with the market and this beautiful trade route set up, it's very, very open. But Recon's not going to know about it until much later in this game. And meanwhile, Recon's trade route is, quite frankly, awful. 36 favor. As he's got a Titan Gate, though. Titan Gate's going to be started. Can Rapl afford it? He's got the gold coming in. Almost finished up on this gold mine. This gold mine over here getting cleaned up. Sky Passage coming up over here as well. Yeah, I'm going to charge through here. As the village is repairing back up. Catapulti's pulling back. Remember, there is Vortex, so there is a world where if Rapl goes for his own Titan Gate, Recon can Vortex in and kill it off. But that being said, maybe Rapl can just bring his units home and then do it. If he's sitting there, he should be able to defend. This gold mine about to be finished up. We hit the Sky Passage. I mean, it's only 1,000 gold. Did you really care? Do you want to take this fight? Maybe. As the Contarius searching for the trade route. Let's see what he's going to see. He's coming in. And he will see a llama caravan. And now he'll know. He's got the walls coming up over here as well. Trying to lock this corner off. This is the way back into this game for Rapl. I mean, Rapl, I don't think that it really matters anymore. Like, resources or anything like that. There's so many resources in the bank for Recon. But the way back into this game is to have the better trade route. Is to keep making these good trades. He's got the superior unit composition now with those Murmillos. But so too is Recon queuing these up. We do have the Contarius sniping some citizen going after the trade route. A couple of units going to come over here and deal with this for the time being. As Contarius onto both sides here. They can garrison. No, they can't. Never mind. That was a current patch. We're on the previous patch here, guys, because of a couple of bugs. You can't garrison your Deuterinos. Nonetheless, the palace here looking like it's going to be getting torn down as the fire siphon coming through. Great control here from Rapl to prevent that one from getting targeted down as the fire siphon pulls back. Contarius literally just running all across the map. This gold mine will end up getting finished up as the market in this corner. Recon spots it. Couple of units to come through here as well. And Recon is just waiting for his not his Wonder, but his Titan. Is there... Could we see a Wonder? As the Vortex to come on over here to clean up everything. He's had enough. As the Titan's now out, he realizes, well, if I've got a Titan and my opponent drops a Titan Gate now, I can just send my Titan through to clean it up. There's no problem. But the full hero Rapl army of Murmillos with this technology here, Heroic Renewal, is going to be incredibly tough to break. There's the Titan charging forward. He's going to start killing off some buildings, but as he sees the units, he's going to have to run away. He's not paying attention for the time being. There he goes. Going to lose a lot of HP here. Those are pretty quick. 3.2 speed over here as the llama caravan's going down. We will see some deleted citizens here as well as the market's going up into the corner. We've got to be careful with this Titan. Dealing with a full heroized Murmillo army. Very, very tough here for him. But this is full Murmillo. I don't mind some Cairo Ballista here. Like, right at this moment, when this is all Murmillo, why not? Just get, like, 3. No worries. Rapl at the moment does have very, very little amounts of resources, but he's got the army he needs to deal with what Recon has. The Recon needs to take a fight, trade, and get the better unit composition out to deal with what Rapl's built here. Because his unit composition doesn't work at all versus this. As he is going to bring everything in, he's got to turn around and just fight this. As he does hit the Chaos, the Titan, while does a lot of reduced damage here, will hurt. As the units all streaming in onto this position, they're going to have to pull that Titan back for the time being. He's turning around. Like, you see that the units are dying, but the HP is coming down. The Rapl can't remake this army. That's the big thing. He can't remake this army because he doesn't have the gold. So the Mamilla is all falling, and the army of Rapl is gone. And now the Titan with 1700 HP remaining, ready to start pushing forward. And now we see Arcus coming in. Rapl only making Murmillos out at the moment. He kind of needs an answer for the new improved Recon army. It's no longer Catapultes Pontarius here. The town center going to be going down. And in that moment, Rapl taps and Recon is on the scoreboard. We've got a tied series right now, ladies and gentlemen. A tied series with one player not researching hand axe. What a game. This is Age of Mythology, ladies and gentlemen. What a game. Absolute chaos from the start to the end. Well, I'm sure the players are going to need to catch their breath after this one, but we'll be moving into game number 4, 2-2, because the first game was bugged. So we'll see what's going to happen here.